Greetings fellow tank commanders, in this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played with the Oni. This is a tier 7 Japanese tech tree heavy tank, and in this game it is fitted with the fully upgraded 10cm cannon. The game I'm playing is a standard battle on Lakeville with tier 7 as the top tier and 1 artillery on each team. Before I was able to fully upgrade the Oni, I was using the 15cm cannon and chose to mostly fight in the mountain pass on Lakeville. That way I could use the terrain to hide during my reload time. But with the well-rounded 10cm cannon, I am comfortable with brawling in the close quarters city situations again. This is an easy early game shot on the KV-1S in the middle. I won't always stop and aim those shots because I'm often in a rush to gain good positioning in the city. But since there were no teammates around to bump into me, I decided to capitalize on the opportunity. I have my Oni equipped with a tank gun rammer, enhanced gun laying drive, and improved ventilation. I considered having a spall liner instead of improved ventilation to increase the tank's survivability, but I ended up just choosing to maximize the gun performance. So far I don't have any complaints with my choice, but I do miss the spall liner on open field maps where cover is scarce. Now I've already lost my Tiger 1 teammate in the city here, and besides my tier 6 teammate in front of me, I don't have any support. And I've switched to my premium rounds for the Oni that's behind, but so far my shots have just been wasted on tier 5 targets. I have my tank well angled here, but I'm not taking any chances, and I'm making sure to roll back behind cover in between shots. You can see that the accuracy isn't that great with this gun. Even at under 200 meters, it's still hard to hit your target. So far I've been lucky with my shots though, and they've been quite successful, mainly since there were so many enemies bunched into one small area, and this Oni is a pretty difficult target to miss. For my Japanese heavy tank so far, I've been running the large repair kit, large first aid kit, and automatic fire extinguisher. It means that I usually won't earn very much silver in a game, and I do run into a few games where I'll lose up to 20,000 silver. But it's worth it for me because this Japanese heavy tank is a humongous target, and so you're going to end up with a lot of artillery shots hitting you, killing multiple crew members. And since it has slightly sluggish gun performance and mobility, I don't want to be in a situation where I have to pick between my gunner and my driver, not with this tank. This J Panther presents a really easy target here. Unfortunately, my reload time is not fast enough to beat his track repair speed, and it would have been nice to have cleared out at least one of the tier 7s from this city. If the enemy had have rushed me in my position, I'd imagine they would have been able to overpower me. Their numbers and firepower would have probably been able to overwhelm my Oni and the medium tank teammate I have with me, but instead they've chosen this long engagement, which is ideal because I'm trading shots and I'm not taking much damage myself. Unfortunately, now my teammate has been destroyed, and I thought that the Oni in KV-1 might try to make an assault move on me, but the Oni isn't interested in trying to attack because his hit points are quite low now. Now I've got a bit of a crossfire problem to deal with here, and now since I'm battling a tier 5 tank, I'm switching to my regular rounds, since I've already used up so many premium rounds trying to fight the enemy Oni. I knew I was taking a risk by exposing myself here to try to get this tier 5 medium tank, but I really didn't want a little medium tank flanking around me and getting along my side or rear where I can't shoot him. It turns out to be worth the risk, and I don't take any damage myself. The Oni has so much potential in situations like this. As long as you keep your frontal armor slanted, and you don't stay out in the open too long for the enemy to be able to pinpoint your machine gun ports, then you have a real good chance of bouncing a lot of tier 7 and 8 shots. And finally, that Oni goes down. I didn't notice the enemy making a strong push in the mountain pass, so I decided to push through and put some pressure on their snipers and their base. And I had actually forgotten about the KV-1 that had moved up, but he's no threat to me now. I've sped up this game clip quite a bit here since driving with the Oni takes a long time. I don't find the speed actually too bad considering the size of tank and the armor it has, but it still takes a long time to get where you're going. The game is very close here and the enemy only has a slight lead over us. I'm happy to have this artillery out of the way, because there really isn't anything worse in a close game than getting hit by artillery over and over and over again. I knew that there was a tank destroyer up ahead of me here and I wanted to try to catch him off guard, but destroying the artillery it spooked him off and he was already running away. To me, the Challenger was the greatest threat left in the game, and since I had a good amount of hit points, I decided to sit out in the open and try to get those remaining hits to finish him off. That shot just leaves him with a sliver of health, and I'm greedy enough to try to finish him off. But a fast-moving tank at this distance with the Oni's gun is very difficult to hit. Since that shot missed and he's now out of range, I'm going to focus on the tanks that I can see. Having that Challenger over there provides a bit of a complication because now I can't charge across and spot out the enemy that's farther back. I definitely didn't handle this situation as well as I could have. I wish I had it back behind the rock that's just to the right of me, because it would have allowed me to angle my front armor and it would have made it a lot more difficult for these guys to penetrate. I also pull out a little too far in hopes of respotting the Challenger or spotting out the remaining tank destroyer in the back. And RNG doesn't fail me here. And that brings me up to my 7th kill of the game. The Challenger and Hellcat are both over towards my base and I don't get an opportunity for another damage hit this game, and my Panther teammate does a good job at finishing both of them off. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. For this game, I managed to earn 23,000 silver, which I was quite surprised about considering I shot 16 premium rounds. And fortunately, I didn't have to use any of my large kits this game. But what was really special about this game was that I was able to earn 23,787 experience. That's thanks to a 3 times XP boost op, a 25% multiplier from the dealing damage op, a 50% multiplier from the 2 for the show op, and finally a 4 times multiplier from the String Theory 3 op. Needless to say, I was extremely happy with the amount of XP I earned this game. In this game, I managed to deal 5,678 damage and destroy 7 enemies while blocking 6,595 damage. And I can only imagine how much more damage I would have blocked if I had been angling my armor correctly at the end of the game there. This earned me High Caliber, Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, Top Gun, Devastator, and Steel Wall. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 2,349. I managed to hit 24 of my 28 shots and penetrate 20 of those. I'm quite happy with those stats. In terms of crew and module damage, I injured the loader in the T-34, injured the radio operator in the enemy Oni, destroyed the engine in the M41 HMC, destroyed the engine in the J-Panther, and destroyed the radio in the Tiger 131. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing that game with the Oni Japanese heavy tank. You got to see some of the great potential that this tank has in an ideal situation. Just make sure that you keep that armor angled as much as possible, and don't stay out in the open during your reload to give the enemy any easy shots. Keep an eye on who you're fighting. Don't always just go for the easiest target to hit, because taking out a flanking tank can be far more important to your survival than just trading shots with the enemy heavy tanks over and over again. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.